Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a quick look outside our weather window. And as we travel north today, well, kind of up towards Badger Mountain. And what a great shot that is looking back at the Wenatchee Valley. You can see the clouds there, mid-level and upper-level clouds, and also those ripening wheat fields at the bottom of your screen. I'm a farm boy myself, growing up on a wheat farm in northern Montana, so can appreciate that. The crop's ripening up, probably harvest time here at the end of this month or so. It just was a nice mid-July day out there today, and we've got a nice weekend ahead too as we take a look at what we can expect as we move into Friday and Saturday and even Sunday. Friday and Saturday for us anyway, mostly sunny. Some folks will see partly cloudy skies and very mild temperatures, basically in the mid to upper 80s. You folks over in the Columbia Basin around Moses Lake, Ephrata, Quincy, maybe 90 degrees for Saturday, and then maybe some breezy conditions on Sunday, and it will cool down a little bit. We will see a weak cold front move through, and really no chance for any precipitation here in the Wenatchee area, with high temperatures Sunday cooling into the lower to mid 80s. And we've got your complete weather forecast coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. The Chelan Douglas Land Trust has purchased 40 more acres of property on the White River for conservation. People using the Apple Capital Loop Trail in Walla Walla Point Park this week are likely to encounter some detours, and it's the start of a new era at the Wenatchee School District under new leadership. But first, we begin tonight. Leavenworth and Plain communities are mourning the death of Cascade High School teacher Aaron Hagerdorn. The 42-year-old special services teacher died this week in an accident in Idaho where she was vacationing with her husband and two sons. The family lives in Plain. A GoFundMe page has been set up to help the family with almost $35,000 raised in one day. Details of the accident that claimed her life were not available. The Chelan Douglas Land Trust has purchased 40 more acres of property on the White River for conservation. The $160,000 purchase is part of a conservation plan that has secured most of the lower portion of the river before it empties into Lake Wenatchee. The river, which begins in the Glacier Peak Wilderness, is a rearing and spawning ground for Chinook, sockeye salmon, and bull trout. In addition, it provides 24% of the water flowing through the Wenatchee River. Well, people using the Apple Capital Loop Trail in Walla Walla Point Park this week are likely to encounter some detours. The Chelan County PUD is repaving portions of the trail and the parking lot for the sports fields, meaning there will be loose gravel, equipment, and workers on the site. There are signs directing people around that construction work. Well, it's the start of a new era at the Wenatchee School District under new leadership. NCWLIFE Steve Hare tells us more about Dr. Paul Gordon.
Welcome everybody, excited to be here, excited to be sitting in the seat of superintendency. I'm really proud and honored to be here, so thank you. And thank you to the board and to the cabinet team for participating in today's work.
Dr. Paul Gordon's first official meeting as the district's new superintendent was at a Wednesday afternoon planning retreat. Gordon led a 4-hour discussion focused on establishing a direction and working relationship between himself, the board, and the district staff.
It's an opportunity for us to set our work, to set our purpose, to set our norms and expectations as a collective group. And it's a group that works together in collaboration to achieve the outcomes of the district for our students, for our staff, for our parents, and for our community. We collectively are working for the greater good of our community. So I'm incredibly excited about this moment in time for us.
Dr. Gordon replaces Brian Flonis, who retired this year after serving for 19 years. Gordon arrives during a period of political turbulence within the school board, following a controversial transfer of power involving 3 board members who were elected on a platform of change 2 years ago. 2 board positions are being contested in the fall election, which could reset that balance of power. Gordon will also be tasked with overseeing the district's future facility planning after the defeat of a major high school construction bond measure. Steve Hare, NCWLIFE News.
Coming up next, Eastmont Parks and Recreation is planning to acquire an East Wenatchee church for development of a new community center. New special features have been added to the Spirit of America 9/11 Memorial in Kashmir. And keep your eyes to the skies today and tomorrow as the U.S. Open of Paragliding in Chelan continues this week. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
Only one dealership in Wenatchee has Motor Trend's SUV of the Year and Truck of the Year. That's right, Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram has the all-new Jeep Wrangler and the all-new Ram 1500 pickup. Or get the best of both worlds in the new Jeep Gladiator. Visit Town Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram today for more information on these award winners and see why there's no reason to leave town to buy your next vehicle.
With 15,000 square feet to explore, you'll find something special at the Antique Mall at Kashmir. For the do-it-yourselfers and those with a keen eye for making something old fresh and new again, the Antique Mall at Kashmir is the place to come find your next project. From the coin enthusiasts to avid collectors, Antique Mall at Kashmir has treasures in every corner. Come find your treasure today. Antique Mall at Kashmir's friendly staff is here to help. Stop on by today.
The best pizza in the known universe is right here in downtown Chelan, so come on up. For the best locally crafted beer and barbecue in Chelan, come on up.
For the best down-home scratch country cooking in north central Washington, you'll find it in Manson. Come on up.
Come on up. Come on up.
Come on up.
Welcome back. In another news, Eastmont Parks and Recreation is planning to acquire an East Wenatchee church for development of a new community center. The former Living Room Church building is located on North Georgia Avenue across the street from Eastmont Regional Park softball fields. Parks Director Sally Brawley says its close proximity to the park makes it an ideal location for community gatherings.
Whole building will be utilized for the community and for different groups, for our programs and for our partners, which we hope to partner with Confluence Health. We have already got Columbia Valley Community Health on board. So, I mean, everybody's excited about bringing different kinds of and levels of services to the community that hasn't been there before.
Brawley says financing is through the USDA's Rural Development Loan Program, which the Eastmont Metropolitan Parks District is eligible to apply. The Parks District Board of Directors has scheduled a July 15th public forum to receive more community input. Well, Phase 2 of the 9/11 Spirit of America Memorial in Kashmir is officially underway. Here with more on that story is NCWLIFE's Kyle Montgomery.
The 9/11 Spirit of America Memorial Foundation has started Phase 2 of their plan to add to their memorial in Kashmir. The current memorial has a collection of 9/11 memorabilia dedicated to those who lost their lives in the tragic accident 18 years ago, and plan to add in even more unique pieces in the coming months. Board President of the 9/11 Spirit of America Memorial Foundation, Tom Green, discussed plans for Phase 2, which includes items such as 2 replica twin towers in the center of the Memorial Plaza.
So right there, the 2 twin towers will be put up within the next month and a half. And then about where you're standing between this sidewalk and the Riverside Center will be the 2 other monuments. One shaped like the Pentagon for Flight 77 in granite with all the names of everyone lost in the Pentagon and on the flight. And then, of course, a little bit further to my right, here will be the Flight 93 Memorial that's shaped like the state of Pennsylvania.
Green says that after winning a bid for the rights to the 9/11 memorial and statue, the city promised to continue adding on to the memorial.
In the end, we won it in June of 14, and one of the promises we made was that after we build it sometime in the future, we would like to do another more interpretive phase to this memorial. And it's kind of taken foot to become this Phase 2 that we call it now, that we're actually standing on part of it, and we're just starting to construct Phase 2 right now.
Since winning the bid in 2014 after competing against cities such as Wenatchee and Chelan, Kashmir has hosted an annual ceremony on 9/11 for the past 5 years, honoring and remembering those who lost their lives in the tragic accident. Kashmir Chamber of Commerce manager Gina Imperato tells NCWLIFE how the memorial has benefited the small town and its citizens.
Being placed here in such a small town, the charming town of Kashmir, this is a great way for people to come out and not only make the visit to Kashmir, but also see this great addition that we have at the memorial here.
Though construction is just underway, the hope is for the new features to be finished before the ceremony in September. With NCWLIFE News, I'm Kyle Montgomery.
Keep your eyes to the skies today and tomorrow as the U.S. Open of Paragliding in Chelan continues this week. NCWLIFE's Caitlin Hedersheet tells us more.
130 pilots are reaching new heights in the Chelan area as the U.S. Open of Paragliding continues this week. The event takes place every July on the Chelan Butte and is known as America's largest paragliding competition. The Butte has a worldwide reputation for big air and long-distance potential in the summer seasons, this according to a local Lake Chelan Flyers group. The flying site has been maintained for more than 40 years by local flying clubs and landowners, including the Department of Natural Resources, the Chelan PUD, and the City of Chelan. Paragliding pilots from around the globe travel to north central Washington to participate in the U.S. Open in what's called a task. Each day of the competition, a task is assigned with a turn point to a goal, and points are accrued for distance flown and speed to the goal. Caravans of pilots ride to the top of the Butte to get a chance to compete in the skies of north central Washington, with just a leap from the Butte's edge to take flight. Pilots traveled as far as Wilbur Airport on day one of the competition. That's more than 100 kilometers. 77 of the 130 participants completed that goal. The competition has incorporated live tracking, so those of us stuck on the ground can actually track individual pilots as they travel high above. For more updates and videos of the competition, or to learn how you can live track these world-class pilots, visit uspgopen.com. I'm Caitlin Hedersheet, NCWLIFE News.
You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Stay with us.
Hi everyone, this is Brent Crowder. After 13 years with the Town Auto Group, I have returned home to Town Toyota where it all started. If you're in the market for a new or used vehicle, let me help you find the right one at the right price. Toyota is reliable and trustworthy, and you can count on me to be the same. When it comes to buying your next car, you can't go wrong with Toyota and Crowder. Ask for Brent at Town Toyota or call me now at 888-5000.
I told Mr. Nielsen about Simon. He's the best doctor because I like the medicines like he gives me.
He asks more questions, and that's why I feel like he's more interested in the health. For me, it means a lot. That means he really cares about him.
I like you, Simon, and you're my best friend.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News, and it's time now for our weekly Kennel Cameos feature from the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Tonight, NCWLIFE's Megan McPherson introduces us to Amber the cat.
Hey guys, Megan here with the NCWLIFE channel. We are here with Renee Parkins, the Development Officer of the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, and joining us this week is Amber, who's a little shy today, so we're just going to stand here. We're going to work with her a little bit. Amber came to the shelter. She was a mama when she came in. Her kittens have been weaned and they have been adopted out, and now it's Amber's turn. She is looking for a home now. Amber's a little bit of a shy girl, as we've already said. She's warming up to us as we're standing here just in this little bit of time, but she's probably going to do best in a calm home just because of her shyness. It's going to be a much better fit for her. The good news is she does get along well with cats, so if you have a calm home with cats, she may be
perfect addition for you.
And how about kids?
Depends if they're older, that's probably okay, but again, calmer homes are much better, so it's going to be a better fit for her.
So what should somebody do if they're interested in
Hello.
adopting Amber?
They can come down to the shelter and meet her. We have some great get acquainted rooms where they can kind of take her in, where it's going to be a little more quiet, give her some time to adjust, see if she's going to be a good fit. Hi, Amber.
Oh, you're
The Wenatchee Valley Humane Society is located at 1474 South Wenatchee Avenue and is open Monday through Friday from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org. This has been Kennel Cameos at the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
Time now for a check of our North Central Washington weather forecast. And before we get into all of those details, as we always do, let's take a look outside our weather window. As we look down from Badger Mountain, you can see low-level clouds, also some high-level clouds out there today as we look at the Wenatchee Valley from our Sky-Fi tower camera. Also some ripening wheat at the bottom of your screen, and it's always a beautiful sight for a farm boy like me. But today, a beautiful day out there. Temperature-wise, boy, almost right where we should be for this time of year. We reached unofficially 84 degrees, exactly like yesterday. 86 is where we should be for this time of year. Another nice start to our day, too, at 64 degrees. 61 is our normal low temperature. 104, our record high. That was set back in 2002. Record low temperature, 48 degrees, set in 1981. We did pick up 2/100ths of an inch of rain. Once again, a late night sprinkle, and that gets us now to 4.21 inches for the year. And that's about 3/10 of an inch behind where we should be for this time of year. We should be at about 4.5 inches. Sunrise this morning, 5:16, and the sun will set tonight just before 9 o'clock at 8:57. Now let's take a look at that surface loop, and not much to talk about, folks. Just a benign weather forecast over the next week or so. Partly cloudy skies tonight. Might see a little breeze kick up out of the west at times as well tonight, but boy, just crystal clear skies throughout most of Washington state. Now we're going to transition with those clear skies into our temperature map, mostly sunny and warmer for Friday. And remember, the darker the orange, the hotter the temperatures, and we will definitely see that around the Tri-Cities tomorrow with temperatures approaching 90 degrees. We shouldn't see 90 here in the Wenatchee area Friday, but Saturday, that could be a different story. I think Moses Lake, you folks by Ephrata, Soap Lake will see 90. A little bit cooler then for Sunday under mostly sunny skies. We will see a weak cold front move through Washington state, and that will cool us down slightly from the upper 80s back down to the lower and mid 80s. By Monday, back to sunny skies, and we will see mild temperatures all over central and eastern Washington. Most of the scattered cloudiness will stay to the west. We're talking temperatures Monday mainly in the middle 80s, about where we should be for this time of year. Tuesday, mostly sunny. Once again, temperatures near normal on Tuesday, and on Tuesday, not a cloud in the entire state of Washington, but that will change as we move into Wednesday with increasing clouds, especially by the afternoon. Nice afternoon high temperatures, and looking ahead even into Thursday and Friday, that push of clouds could bring us a sprinkle, especially late Thursday into Friday morning. Now let's take a look at your quick lube and tune forecast. 7-day forecast tonight, 62 degrees our overnight low. A nice warm up into Friday at 86. 88 should be our warmest day of the entire forecast on Saturday. Perfect timing, right? Mostly sunny, slightly cooler for Sunday and 83, and we will stay in the lower to mid 80s on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday with mostly sunny skies and lows in the lower 60s. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Being able to support yourself and your family is an important part of who we are. We all need to know we're able to provide ourselves with a secure future. Some job seekers have a harder time finding work. That's why Goodwill's Employment Connection Center is here, a free walk-in job search assistance program designed to help people find work. When you shop at or donate to Goodwill, you're really being a job creator, and that's a good thing for everyone's future. Goodwill. There's more behind the store.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Thursday to you. Gil Luna and two relievers combined to hold Wenatchee to just one run on 4 hits in Ben's 9-1 win over the Apple Sox last night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. The 5'11" left-hander from Casa Grande, Arizona, pitched 7 innings, allowing 1 run on 3 hits while striking out 12 Wenatchee batters. For more on last night's game, we get the wrap-up from the voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman.
The Apple Sox dropped Game 2 of their series against the Bend Elks 9-1 on Wednesday night at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. They got off to a bit of a rough start, allowing 2 runs in the first inning and then allowed 4 runs in the 5th inning. And pretty much from there, it was Elks all the way. The Sox scored 1 run in the 7th inning. Cody Colden doubled, went to third on a wild pitch, and scored on a throwing error. But that was all the Apple Sox would get in this one. They looked to salvage the series and tie the season series against the Bend Elks when they faced them on Thursday night at 6:35 at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. With your Apple Sox report, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you much, Joel. The Elks scored 2 in the first off losing pitcher Ryan Long on a 2-run single by Chase Fernlund. Reliever James Kulak struggled with his control in the 5th inning, walking to and hitting a batter as Ben plated 4 more runs before the inning was over. Justin Parsons was 2 for 3 with a home run and 2 runs, while Nick Bergarello continued to feast on Wenatchee pitching, collecting 3 hits and 5 plate appearances with an RBI. Final game of the series, as Joel mentioned, starts tonight at 6:35. Michael Hansel will get the start for the Elks against the Sox Jake Somm, who's 2-0 on the season. Wenatchee Apple Sox welcome the Bellingham Bells into Paul Thomas Senior Field for the first of 3 games tomorrow night. Speaking of the Bells, we'll have Saturday's game live on the NCWLIFE channel beginning with our pregame at 6:15. I'll chat with the Apple Sox coach Kyle Crustangel to see about how the team is holding up under the pressure of a long summer collegiate season. That's all Saturday night right here on the NCWLIFE channel. Opening up the Les Schwab West Coast League scoreboard from last night, Kyle Smith worked the middle 4 innings and helped keep Kelowna to 2 runs on 4 hits as Cowlitz won 4-2. Zach Smith led the way offensively for the Black Bears, going 3 for 4 with 2 runs. Johnny Weaver's sacrifice fly broke a 5-all tie in the top of the 14th, and Ridgefield would add 2 more in the frame to win a marathon in Victoria 8-5. Now this happened after a wild 9th inning where the Raptors scored 3 runs in the top of the inning to take a 5-4 lead. Harbor Cats were down to their final strike when Griffin Paxton smacked an RBI triple to center field to tie the game, sent it into extras. Noah Taylor was 3 for 4 for Ridgefield with 3 RBIs. Meanwhile, rain caused the cancellations of a couple of West Coast League games last night in Bellingham and Port Angeles. No word yet on the makeup for plans for Bells and Walla Walla Sweets or the Lefties and Corvallis Knights. Non-league play last night, Yakima Valley scored 5 runs in the 6th and held on to beat the Northwest Honkers 8-6 in Yakima County Stadium. Pippins were led in the bottom of the lineup by center fielder Luke Schwartz, who went 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs. And in another non-league game, Alex Lambo went 2 for 4 with a couple of RBIs to lead Portland past Perth 4-1. The Pickles will again face Perth tonight in the final of the 3-game series with the World Baseball Showcase team from Western Australia. Well, taking a look at the second half standings in the West Coast League North Division at this point. Port Angeles and Bellingham each 1-1. Victoria and Yakima Valley 1-2. Kelowna's 0-1, while Wenatchee's 0-2. Victoria and Corvallis have already punched their tickets to the postseason by winning their divisions in the first half of the season. Well, it's been a great year of racing so far at Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. Big crowds and solid fields of cars have kept new general manager Jeremy Anders hopping. He joined us on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley yesterday discussing some of the changes he thinks are helping with attendance and the general interest at WVSO.
We've done some other great things too. We've reached out to some nonprofits as well and brought them up there. But our crowds have been great this year. We've been doing some different marketing things, a lot stronger on our social media presence.
Your website's fantastic.
Our website's a lot easier to use. You have results right away, which people love about that. Our points are up to date right away. You know, before there were some struggles there. Our sponsorships have been great this year. That was one of the big things. I knew I had to go out and really take care of our current sponsors and enlist some new sponsors, and we've been lucky enough to have a lot of new sponsors come on board this year. And I think that when you get support like that from the community, it just kind of it's a domino effect. That really comes through. So you know, we started at the top with our sponsorship side, and it's fell all the way through, all the way to our attendance side, and our drivers are happier. I think there's a lot of great things going on.
The next big race is a couple of weekends and is being marketed as Thunder in the Valley.
It's sprint cars, so it's all open wheel cars for the most part, except we added one more thing. So we have the sprint cars, which are these cars here. That's the fastest cars you're going to see at WVSO this year. And actually, there's a couple cars who they are going to try to go for the all-time track record. Then we have the West Coast Vintage Racers. We have the old-time early stocks and the Northwest Focus Midgets. So those are all open wheel classes. So different style cars like that. And you know, we don't do a whole lot of open wheel racing at Wenatchee. It's been kind of interesting over the years that Wenatchee's been kind of more of a stock car town, but it was different. You know, back in the day, Freda was more of a open wheel town. So it was kind of like that was the stock car town here, and you had the open wheel town there. So we're trying to educate people on the open wheel racing, because it can be great racing as well.
You can go to WVSO.com to find out more about the upcoming race schedule and all about Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval. Well, the Mariners start the second half of the Major League Baseball season tomorrow in Anaheim against the Angels. Seattle finished the first half 39-55, last in the American League West and sixth worst in all of baseball. LA is 45-46, 12.5 games behind Houston in the West, but only 6.5 out of the wild card spot. Mike Leake gets the start for Seattle with a 7-7 record of 4.32 ERA. There's speculation that Leake could be shipped out of Seattle before the trade deadline by the end of this month as the Mariner reboot continues. Halos will start Taylor Cole in the first frame, giving way to the featured pitcher Felix Pena. That's sports news. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
These stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at NCWLIFE.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@NCWLIFE.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. Also, keep it right here on the NCW Life channel tomorrow morning for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley with host Dan Kuntz. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
NCW Life channel is your home for local news, local weather, and events including live local high school sports. Watch inspiring local shows featuring local people. Don't miss Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Let's learn. Guada TV. Street Talk and Other Stuff. The 12th District. Life with Lisa. And the Arbiter of Stoke. NCW Life channel is your local TV station.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson. Remember the good old days? Sunday supper at Grandma's and the best recipes being passed down through generations? Well, come on out to Blueberry Hills and find amazing food with huge portions at family-friendly prices. From Benedict's to burgers to fresh fruit pies, there is something for everyone. Don't miss Blueberry Hills, where you pick, you sip, you eat, and you visit. wildaboutberries.com.
Where will you be a year from now? You could be working as a medical assistant. The Charter College Medical Assistant Certificate Program gets you work ready in 10 months. Add 5 more months to earn an associate degree. We prepare you with hands-on training and support you after graduation with job search help and interview skills. Institutionally accredited by the Accrediting Bureau of Health Education Schools, Charter has been training healthcare professionals for more than 30 years. Charter College. We work to get you to work.
For all the latest news in North Central Washington, go to NCWLife.com or find us on Facebook. Got a news tip? Email us at news@NCWLife.com or call 888-2020.